Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Police World. Today we have a special interview with Christina. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, thank you so much for the invitation.
You're welcome. So Christina, can you tell us what's your complete name? How old are you? What do you do for living here in Ecuador?
Yes, so my name is Christina Marz.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a German name. It's Merz with the two dots on the A. But here in Ecuador, they lost the two dots and said, no, you're Marz and we don't have this letter, and so whatever. So my name is Christina Marz, and I work in coaching and therapy. I teach healing and therapy with horses. That's my main income, my main business. I have an online course and a certification that I teach all over the world. And then I also do psychological counseling and mentoring, and I have a foundation here in Cotacachi in Ecuador. But that's nonprofit work, so it doesn't really contribute to my income, but it takes up a lot of time.
Wow, that's a really interesting story. So where are you from? Where did you born?
I'm from Germany, from Bavaria. Very, very little village. It just has like 4 or 5 houses. And it's in the countryside, and I always love to be out in nature. I love to be around horses, and that's what also brought me to Ecuador.
Wow.
You know, the possibility of having horses, of having nature, and just a little more freedom than in Germany.
Wow, yes. So when did you come to Ecuador for doing this?
I came in 2001.
Wow, 2001.
So that's, like 24 years. Yes.
24 years, well. And did you come by yourself or with someone else?
I came with my then husband from Germany. We got a divorce 10 years ago. And we have 3 kids together. So in that time we came, just the 2 of us and a dog. And then we settled in the northern part of Ecuador in the Andes.
Oh yeah. So you speak also German, right?
Yes.
I can
German
only say
is my mother,
some words.
my main language. But it's I'm like operating most of the time in Spanish now, and I speak a lot of English with my clients. I have many students in English-speaking countries. And German is kind of like, falling a little bit through the through the cracks.
Yes. So you speak English because there in Cotacachi there are a lot of foreign people, right?
There's a lot of expats, and I have some of them as my therapy clients. But mostly I speak English with my students because I do teach my certification all over the world. I have students in like 30 countries.
Wow.
And many of them are English-speaking countries, right? So I have a big student community in the Middle East, in Dubai, in Kenya, in Jordan, and Egypt, and I speak English with all of those.
All the world. All around the world.
All around the world, yes.
Wow, that's nice. So Christina, can you tell us how was the idea to start doing what you actually do? How did you start with working with horses and
So horses helped me a lot when I was young. They helped me to, become braver and find my voice, and also find like calmness. So I always was around horses. I always liked being around horses. And when I came here to Ecuador, I started working with horses. First I had, I would train horses or retrain horses. And then I got frustrated because it's usually the owners that is a problem and not necessarily the horse. I had some riding students, and then I got into the therapy aspect and into the coaching aspect. And I did that for a while with some people in that rural area. And then that is about 15 years ago, maybe. I really wanted to work in a team or share what I was doing with somebody else. So I wanted to teach it to somebody. And I thought I would teach it just once, right? So I asked around. I said, is there anybody who would like to learn this from me? And I invited a few people, and there were some paying students as well. And I thought I would do it once, but then I finished that first certification. And then some people said, oh, you just did that. When is the next one? I'm like, what do you mean next one? There's not going to be a next one. He said, yes, no, please, you have to do it again.
Wow.
I would also like to learn it. I couldn't come in the first one, so please do it again. And then I just did it again and again and again and again, like 20 times. I did like 20 groups.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic came, and then I put it online. So I was thinking for the last years before the pandemic how to create an income that would not require me actually standing here and teaching directly. And I couldn't figure it out. I could not find a way to teach about horses without the horses, right? And then the pandemic came, and I had to teach. We started online without ever thinking that we would finish online, because we all thought it's going to be a couple of days or maybe 2 weeks, right? And then it went on and on and on. So I finished the group online, and then I started to really structure that. So then I recorded a group, and I put a virtual classroom, and then I started selling it as an online certification with online mentoring, and then it really grew. So it was not, I can't really say it was a plan. Like, this is my business plan, and these are the steps. It kind of all just happened. I got into it. But as I got into it, I wanted to do it right and well planned and well done. And then it got successful. So
until now. Yes. Wow. Yes. And how was your first experience healing someone using horses?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say like healing someone. It's really more like helping them find a better way to deal with whatever is happening in their life. So my method is called horse guided empowerment. So the horses help you reach that empowerment for anything that happens in your life. So it could be, I don't know, it could be an illness. You could have, I don't know, whatever, diabetes, right? I'm not healing the diabetes. I'm helping you be more empowered to deal with it better. Or I'm not healing your marriage, but I could empower you to live a better marriage or an easier divorce, or whatever is going on. And I'm the first person who experienced that. So, and that was really important for me.
Exactly.
So I had a lot of experience with that on myself. And then also with, in the beginning when I came to Ecuador, with some kids from the neighborhood, and then I had a client with multiple sclerosis who wanted to have riding lessons, but it really turned into this coaching therapy experience. And that's when I saw that what I had experienced with horses was actually something I could replicate and give to somebody else. So that was amazing. Nice. That was cool. And maybe the most important moment was when I saw that I could teach it to somebody. So for a while I thought it's just my horses that are different, right? Like my horses are different. Or our relationship is different, or there's I don't know, it's just it's a special coincidence. But then when I saw that I could teach somebody, and it isn't actually that difficult, and then you can do it too, that was like, whoa. There's an entire world here of possibilities, and it's not only the limited people I can work with. I can actually do this, replicate this like everywhere.
Exactly.
And that's when I got more interested in teaching versus me doing the work myself. I still do it, and I love doing it, but I love it more when I teach somebody and I know that they keep doing it.
Wow. So the person needs to have their own horses, or is not necessary? No?
So the facilitator, like my student who learns to use that method, has to have access to several horses, and that can be their own horses, or I have a lot of students who partner with the riding school or with a ranch or a sanctuary with rescued horses, so you don't have to have your own horses. You can also work with,
Any horse.
someone where they rent horses for riding,
Yeah.
and then you make an agreement with them, and you learn the method and just offer a different service. So now it could be a place where you can go and have a riding lesson, or have your own horse for competitions, or have a therapy coaching experience.
Yeah, wow. So how many horses do you have in your place?
I have 5.
5.
I have 5 horses, yeah.
Wow. They are big or small?
A little bit of everything. I have 2 horses that are pretty big, and one that is quite small. So like everything in between.
Yeah, okay, nice. So, Christina, can you tell us what are your short, medium, or long-term goals with this business, if you have any?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So last year, 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I did create a system so that the students would actually be pretty independent. So you can buy the course, you can go through the course, and everything is organized so that even if I'm, I don't know, sick or on vacation, you can still get the course and the learning. And then last year, my goal was to increase the student number, which is difficult right now. Online learning is not that big as it was anymore.
Yeah.
So for this year, my goal is actually to move a little bit away from the online world and teach more in person again, but still get more exposure. I'm looking for a partner. Maybe I'm talking to Gaia Network or maybe Mind Valley to have exposure to more people, and make it more known, so that more students will find me easier. So that's one goal for this year. And I would say, that's like the short-term goal, like have more exposure. And then I have a therapy center here. My nonprofit foundation has that, and I want to replicate that. So this year I want to bring it to at least one more location, and then midterm spread it more, and so combine it, like teach people how to do this work, and then how to turn it into a system, a center where there's just constant client attention.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's different teaching online than in the person touches the horse, right?
Yes, it's different. It's actually, from my perspective now, it's actually better online, because then you have to work with your own horses during the course. Because let's say you have horses, right? So if you come and learn with my horses, then I will teach you everything, and we will practice, and everything will be great. And then you go home and you look at your horse and you're like, now you're different. How do I teach you?
Exactly.
How do I get this started? And if you learn online, then I will tell you from the beginning, this is what you do with your horses. And then when you finish and when you certify, you know exactly what you're doing with your horses in your environment. And that's better, because then you can apply it faster.
Wow. Yeah, that's nice. So in all these path that you have been in, what is the best advice that you have given? Someone gave you any advice that you have never forget?
Well, in the whole therapy world, there is one piece of advice that my mentor gave me, which is don't ever care more than the client. And that sounds really harsh, but it's really important. So for everybody who does like coaching as a client or as a coach or therapy, you can learn from the therapist, from the facilitator, and we will show you the way, but then you have to walk it on your own. Like nobody can be healed, right? You have to do it yourself. So if you are feeling that the therapist really wants something more than you, that's not the right path.
Exactly.
But
Wow.
but for like business owners, you know, any kind of business, like you talk to business owners on your channel, and for them the best advice is just don't ever give up. Like, believe in what you're doing, because there are so many people who will tell you this is not going to work and there's no market for it, and how dare you, and why would you, and how can you, and you cannot, and all of that. And it's just like,
don't listen to them.
not even listen to them, because nobody else has. I mean, it's your business idea, and you believe in it, and you're the only one who has to believe in it. And nobody else will believe in it as much as you do. So just do not listen to all the best advice of people, because they share all kinds of really really unhelpful stuff, and they compare it to like whatever what they have read on Instagram or whatever. So, and it's,
wow, nice.
Find your supporters. Don't believe everybody, and just listen, and then you're like, yeah, and then you do your own thing.
So never give up. That's your advice.
Yeah,
for us.
never give up. I've heard so many people have told me that it's irresponsible to have horses when you don't have your own land, and I didn't have my own land for a long time, but now I have it, and I bought it, and and I have my own land and my own horses here. Yeah. And then they told me that it's impossible to make money with horses, and horses and online doesn't go together, and there is no market for this, and there is whatever. And it's not just not true.
Yeah.
But it's not true because I believe in it and because I don't give up.
Yeah, okay, nice. So what means for you to be an entrepreneur? This is a hard word for me to say, entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur, yeah.
Entrepreneur, yes.
Yeah.
What it means for you to be that?
It means to be obsessed with an idea and just pursue it as if you were, madly in love and a little crazy about it, because you have to commit to something, and then just do it and keep doing it and get up again and change and adapt and just it's like having a child.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, like your child, and you won't abandon it if it has a little illness, or if it's not doing well, or if it's a little whatever, unsuccessful in school or in some years, or it's like, no, and we do this together, and we can grow together, and it adapts over the years, and it adapts to your personality as you grow. But it's like, just keep going.
Keep going, exactly, yeah. So do you think we need money to start a new business, or is not necessary?
So I don't think that you need like investment money to start a business. Well, depending on what it is. If you want to open a McDonald's, then you do need a lot of investment money. But you don't need investment money. But I think it is much easier if you don't depend on the business the day you start it. Like if you first quit your job and then open a business and have to have it work in the first month, then that's kind of setting it up for failure. So you either need some savings for the first months, or start it as a side hustle while you still have an income, and then gradually change the the income ratio. But that makes it easier, because if you have to be obsessed about it, but if you're also scared and panicking about the income side, then it's really hard to get it off the ground.
Yeah, okay, nice. And do you think that the way that our parents raised us help you to be the person that you are today, or not?
Yes, absolutely. But I don't think that, like, not only in the positive sense. So the way my parents raised me did not directly help me to become the person I am today, because I'm kind of the opposite of what they raised me to be. Like, my father does not ever talk to me. Like he doesn't even answer my messages. He does not want to have a relationship with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
And then my mother is like, oh my God, everything is so complicated.
yeah.
Don't do this. Don't be like, everything is always too much. She always wants safety and less. And the most thing she says, she asks me, did you take a nap today? And I'm like, I never take naps.
Yeah.
Right? So she did not tell me how to run a business at
Wow.
all. But I've decided that I don't want to be like her.
Exactly.
So then I learned what I needed to learn in order to do it. And it fuels me to do it despite her different way of being. So it definitely influences you, but it's not only, my parents are business owners, so I can be a business owner as well. My mom is a teacher, elementary school teacher, and my dad is a doctor, but he's not in my life. So
wow. So your family live there in Germany or here in
my mom lives here since the pandemic.
Yeah.
And my father is in Germany, but I don't talk to him. My mom is here for a few years now.
For a few years, wow. So that's nice. And what factors do you think that motivate people to start a new business?
It should be passion and obsession with a certain, like wanting to solve a problem or wanting to create something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I think some people start a business because, I don't know, they want to be independent and they think that as a business owner, you have so much freedom and you don't have to work so hard and there's nobody who tells you what to do. And that is a very wrong reason, because you will work twice as hard and you have to motivate yourself and be the hardest boss you could ever have, because you need to do things. There is no paycheck if you don't do it. So if that is your motivation, like I want an easier life, it's not what it's gonna be.
Wow. And talking about horses, what do horses have so they can help us?
Yeah.
What do they have?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you get me the idea.
Right. Yeah. No, I do. So horses are very sensitive. They are very aware of what is going on in their surroundings and their environment.
Yeah.
And they scan energetic changes, and that means also emotions. So they can, in nature, they know if the predator is hunting and hungry, or if the predator is, sleeping and not interested in hunting.
Yeah.
And they do that with us as well. They read your emotions. Like, what do you really want? Are you, do you need support? Are you vulnerable? Are you hunting? Are you aggressive? Are you egocentric? Like, they can understand your emotions.
Yeah.
And then they are very social beings. So they live in a herd, and they want harmony. Like, sometimes people think horses are all about running around and rearing up and doing all kinds of crazy things. But in reality, horses want to be in peace. They want to be quiet and safe, grazing, and nothing else. So when we come to the place where they are, the horses want harmony, and they will do anything to help you be in harmony. So if you're anxious or scared, they will give you strength and they will help you. If you are ego oriented, they will be like, I'll teach you some boundaries, and it's not all about you. So they are social beings, and they are highly sensitive to energetics, and that together helps us understand ourselves and be authentic. And when we are authentic, the horses react in a different way to us. And that is really something that, learning that or seeing that is extremely helpful, I think, for anybody.
Wow. And so you mean that horses just feel how the person feels?
Yes.
Like something
Yes,
like that?
exactly. They feel, and then they want you to be in harmony, because then they are safer. So they help you. They don't just ignore you. Oh, you're sad. Okay, so I'm walking away.
Wow.
They help you accept what you're feeling and looking into the future in harmony and with calmness, because then everybody will be safe.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, and what is the most hardest case that you have with someone?
Oh,
The hardest one.
the hardest cases are, I can't really talk about it because people, there is a lot of really tough cases. I have a lot of people
Yeah.
with grief, with depression, with a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
There is a lot of like suicidal
Wow.
feelings, especially in teenagers, and that's always really hard to deal with.
Yeah.
But the most difficult cases are those who think who think they understand what they want, and then they find out that it's actually something very different, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to make that switch and to make that step into I thought I have it all, I understand it all, and I have a great life and I have a great job and I make so much money and everything is perfect. And then they're like, whoa, but inside I feel really
Empty.
lonely or empty or yes. And those are hard sessions because helping somebody feel that and realize that's tough.
Wow. Yeah. So you have clients from early ages to old people, or from what age?
Well, I work with a team, so the young kids are working with my colleague. I mostly have teenagers and adults, and also here in Cotacachi, there's a lot of retired people from other countries. So they're usually over 70, but but it turns out that the problems they're kind of the same, pretty much any age. So somebody with 70 has the same relationship problems as somebody with 50 or 40 or 30 or even 20 years old. It's like,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's always the same emotions. It's always the same doubt or shame or anger, and so it doesn't really matter how old somebody is. With children, it's different because there's less like introspection and less logical reasoning. But yeah, adults, it doesn't really matter the age.
Yeah, nice. So, Christina, what has been the most effective way to make yourself known and attract people more to you?
Yeah. I did a lot of social media this year, or since December. I took a break and I'm not doing it actively right now. I also have published books on Amazon. I think it's I couldn't say the most effective way. It's like a mix. So I've tried different things. I have done some speaking for Mind Valley, for example. That was really good. A good internet presence, like a good website with SEO so that people can find you. In my niche, that's really easy because there's not a lot of people who offer what I do. If you do, I don't know, marketing, coaching, for example, then it's harder because everybody seems to do that. But yeah, good internet presence, trying different things and being diverse. I would not go only podcasts or only Instagram. If there's a mix, then it's I think better.
So you say you have books on Amazon?
Yes, I have books. They're here. There's one of them. I have books on Amazon. I have a podcast on Spotify. It's just a few episodes. It's just sometimes when I find somebody interesting, then I do a podcast. I do interviews. I do speaking. I do all kinds of things. Because I like talking about the topic. So it's easy. If you're obsessed with what you're doing, you'll really love it. If you're passionate about it, then it's also easy to attract others.
Yeah, but how do you work doing this online if the person can touch the horse or hug him?
Because I'm teaching them how to do the work with somebody else. right? So I would teach you how to do coaching with horses with your clients, right? And so you will practice with your horses. I tell you what to do, and then you go and do it, and then report it back, and I supervise what you have been doing. It's not that I do, like, if you were my client, I also have mentoring clients and like all over the world, but then we do online therapy or coaching or something without the horses.
But if I have my own horse, I can also do this.
Then, but I wouldn't do therapy with horses with your own horse. I only teach students who want to be an equine therapist. So you learn to be an equine therapist with your horse with my guidance.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Nice. And is there any challenges that you have faces in all this career?
Oh yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yes, so many. And it's always about adapting. Like, you know, sometimes where in the beginning it was a challenge to have enough people to be sustainable. Then it was a challenge to deal with all the students and not work 24 hours. So then I built an online system. Then it was a challenge, you know, during the pandemic, and now after the pandemic when online is going down. So it's just a constant adaptation. But I like that. I like evolving and
you're a strong woman. A strong one.
Well, I'm empowered by my own horses, right? So I live what I teach.
Nice, Wyatt. So what do you think are the most common mistakes that we make when we start a new business?
Maybe I would say maybe not being flexible enough, and believing those magic formulas and recipes, right? So, as if you go on Instagram, then there's always somebody who says, you know, I have the exact formula how to make $1 million next Tuesday, or how to attract 5,000 students into your free webinar, and all of that is just a lie. Like, I'm sorry to say it like that, but it is a lie, because there is not one formula that will work for everybody. It depends on the business, on your clients, on your personality, on your experience, on where you start, on so many things. And you can be lucky. I've had a viral reel once, just a few months ago actually, that had 30 million views.
Wow.
30 million views, and like, I don't know, 30,000 comments and likes and stuff. But that did not change my life and make me a millionaire, because it was a funny reel. You know, one of those that the first person that comes up and share owes you a horse, right? So, and people love that at that particular moment. And I got a lot of funny messages, but none of those were my clients. None of those turned into clients. So it's not about, you only have to have one viral reel and then everything will be solved. Not at all. It's about testing and seeing what works for you, and then adapting and asking and I think it's about finding a network where you can show your struggles and ask questions and be real, instead of, you know, it's not always like, everything is not always great, but I won't tell my clients that I'm actually maybe thinking about changing, you know, what I'm doing, or I won't tell my students that this month is really hard and I can't pay my bills, or I won't tell on Instagram that I feel like shit and I don't want to do this anymore. So you always show the best outside, so you will also only see the best from others. And if you don't have a place where you can be real and say, I don't know what to do, or I'm scared, or I don't know, a worker is stealing from me, or my teammate has whatever, And it's really hard because your
Wow.
friends or your partners and your parents will not understand you. You need somebody who's in a similar situation to
Yeah.
actually
Wow.
get support and help.
That's
So,
the truth. Uh-huh. Yes.
yeah, right? It is. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So, do you think that everyone can run their own business or not?
No,
Yeah. Why?
because
Mhm.
because there will always be people who want it easy and safe,
Yeah.
and running your own business is not easy and it's not safe. It's
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
like it can be great,
Uh-huh.
but if you want to know that you get your paycheck at the end of the month, then you should not open your own business, because there can always something can always happen, and if you can't handle that, then you should not. But I mean, I think everybody can learn it. If you want to learn it, you can learn it. I did not. I'm a psychologist. I didn't know anything about business, anything. And my mom says take a nap, right? So,
Yeah.
but so I learned it. But I think there is a lot of people that are too, like, I want to have it easy, and I want long weekends, and I want holidays, and I want my paycheck, and that's not what it is. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. Well, so is there anything, Christina, that you want to share with us before we end this interview? Maybe here.
Yeah. So if anybody is like interested in building a business or has a business and struggles, find a mentor. And it doesn't have to be like investing, I don't know, $10,000 into a super mentor. And it doesn't have to be the same one all the time, but find somebody to help you. Ask for help, invest a little bit in mentoring, and get help. Like, don't give up and don't try to do it. What kind of recommendation do I have for somebody who is starting a business or wants to start a business or struggles in their business maybe? And my biggest recommendation is finding mentoring. So and it doesn't have to be expensive. I don't know, like $10,000 membership. It can be just one session. It doesn't have to be expensive, but asking for people who know something about your problem or can help you, support you, is really extremely helpful. And I've had different mentors and coaches over the years. I have never paid a gigantic sum of money for that. Depending as you grow, it gets a little bit more expensive, but it doesn't have to be expensive. And having somebody to help you and somebody you can ask and be honest and and just share what is going on, I think is way more. It's a much better investment than, I don't know, buying only books or listening only to I don't know, audiobooks that will teach you how to do marketing or this or that. And a coach or a mentor and a network of people who are in a similar situation is more helpful than trying to, I don't know, tell it to your friends or ask your boyfriend or your dad, because the situation is different, and nobody else will have such a neutral point of view as a professional coach or a mentor. Your friends will always have an opinion about you or about your relationship, and so somebody neutral who like doesn't care that much about you as a person, but about the assignment and about your business is extremely helpful.
Wow, that's a really nice advice that you have given us.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm happy to help somebody if there is a comment on this, or if somebody wants to reach out. You can find me on my website, ChristinaMarz.com. You can find me on Instagram at Marz Method, or if you just put in Christina Marz horses, then you'll find me absolutely somewhere. And I'd love to help others. I have done some emerging entrepreneur mentoring. It doesn't have to be about horses. You know, it's more fun if it's about horses. It doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'd love to help, you know, fellow entrepreneurs. I know how hard it is, and I know how much fun it is, and yeah, it's always good to connect and reach out and support others.
Wow. Well, Christina, first I want to thank you for have participated in this interview. I really think that this is a really important thing that you are doing with people, helping people, and that God bless you in everything that you do. And I will book your books in Amazon so I can read because I love reading. So that's
thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And it's great. I also want to give it back. It's really great what you're doing, investing time in you know, sharing this and finding interesting people and asking these questions, because it's super helpful to hear other people's, you know, opinion, and yeah, we can learn from that. So thank you so much for what you're doing as well, and for having me.
Yes, Christina. So if there is any time that I go to Cotacachi, I can go visit you too.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody in Ecuador, please reach out. And then if you're not in Ecuador, there's many people all over the world who do something similar. So I'd be happy to, you know, match.
Connect. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Christina. We can be in touch soon too. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.